Hello, people. I just got home from a derby meeting, and it's kind of late. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I mentioned that I wanted to do a hair bleaching tutorial, so I'm going to do that right now. I said I was going to tell you guys how to make your hair, like, go white, but it takes a little bit of time, especially if you have dark hair like me. Like, this is not so much my natural color, but my hair is definitely darker than blonde. So I suggest that you dye your hair or bleach your hair once before you try this technique that I'm going to be doing, because it'll more than likely come out like a coppery orange yellow before it comes out like this. Let me just talk real quick about what you guys need in order to dye your hair. You need an old t-shirt. Many times I thought, oh, I'm just going to dye a little part of my hair, I don't need to change my shirt, but I always get dye on my shirt, and if you guys know you're messy, get an old t-shirt to wear. You also need some brushes. This is my old rat tail comb, and as you can see, my hair is so thick it is broken right through it. So I'm going to be using this one too, but plastic ones are fine. Also regular combs and hair brushes to brush your hair out because you don't want to dye, tangled hair. You will need your bleach and developer. I use 40 volume developer. I've just always used 40 volume because it's like the highest potency, I guess you would say. And some hair bleaches I would suggest to use for this is Quick Blue, Kaleidoscope, or this one right here. Maybe this is the one I'm thinking about, Kaleidocolors. Right, today I'm going to be using Kaleidocolors with violet, as you can see over here. It says violet. To get your hair like a whitish, maybe even gray if you want, you need to use blue tones and violet tones. And the violet tones will put more gray in your hair, the blue tones will make it more blonde and platinum. And since I want my hair to be like frosty white, like snow, I'm going to be using the violet. And so, if you guys have ever bleached your hair before, let me talk more about clips, sorry. Hair clips to clip your hair back. You can get these at Sally's, a big pack for like $2 or $3. And these are really great to use also to pin your hair back. Foil. I don't use fancy salon foil, I just use regular home foil. And that's mainly just to keep my hair separated from the dark parts, and it doesn't really help develop it, I guess, but that's what it is. I think people think that if you put foil in your hair, it helps the color to develop, when actually it doesn't really do anything for your hair. So first, let's mix up the hair dye. I've got my little bucket and my little brush, applicator brush. I'm not going to use gloves because I don't have gloves. I hardly ever use gloves. I just use this and my hands and the foil, and nothing ever happens to my hands. I don't ever even get that much bleach on my hands at all. So if you guys don't have gloves, don't worry about it. But if you're going to be bleaching like a big part of your hair, like if I were doing all of this right now, I would want to use gloves. So you take your little developer and you pour it in. If you're not sure how much to pour in, just pour in a little at a time and mix it up. And I just mix it up with the little brush end over here. Some bleaches will have really horrible smells, and they'll burn your eyes, they'll burn your nose, they'll make bad taste in your mouth. This one, however, actually smells really pleasant, and it works really well. And you can get all these supplies at your local Sally's, maybe even Target, for some hair clips and brushes. But Sally should have everything. So mix it in. What does this smell like? It smells like Jolly Ranchers. This is really great. And you'll want to mix it up until it's kind of foamy. I put a little too much developer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour a little more of this bleach packet. This is helpful for you guys if you guys mess up too, pouring too much volume. Just pour in a little more bleach if you have enough, because you really want it to be even and frothy and hold to your hair and not just kind of gloop off. Alright, so it's a little more frothy. And I'm going to kind of section off my hair. I don't know if you guys are going to be bleaching just stripes or whatever, but when I bleach my hair, I do the roots first and then go to the ends. If you have ends that are really hard to detect color from, or I don't know, take color away from, you should start at the ends first. And usually that's how you should do it, because color goes easily more to your roots than here, because it's a little harder to apply here. So if your hair isn't white already, you should apply from the bottom up to the root. And so I'm just going to do my bangs first. Take my little brush here and just take a V out from the front of my head. And since I have black in my hair too, I'm going to have to pin that back and just get that out of the way so it's not in my blonde. It's actually really hard to keep your hair separated, like if you dye it in portions, you know, when dyeing it yourself. If you have someone else do it for you, it's really easy, but I mean, if you're trying to do it yourself, you kind of see, I have to maneuver my hair around my eyes so I can see, and yeah. I'm also going to grab the back part right here just so I can get that out of the way. And you just kind of have to zigzag around the parts that you don't want in there, and the parts that you do want. Okay, so I'm going to start with the front of my hair, top of my hair, sorry. And usually I go from the back towards the front, which is probably the best way to do it. Just grab a little bit off your brush and apply it down to the roots. And again, I would only suggest this if you're just going in for like a root touch-up. But if you're actually dyeing the whole lock of hair, try and get it, you know, a certain color, you should start from the bottom up. And I kind of just go in spots. Since my hair has been bleached a lot already, it's a little fried in some areas, so I kind of don't like to use, I try to use my bleach sparingly. Just a little bit on the ends here to keep them light. And then you can choose to either put this up in foil or just pin it back. Right now, I think I will just pin this back. And I'm just going to roll it into a little curl just to keep it out of the way from everything else. I'm going to continue over here with my roots. So in a sense, there really isn't a special secret to getting your hair, or a special technique to getting your hair white. It really just depends on what kind of hair bleach you're using. And if your hair is does take to bleach easily or not. See, I'm just spotting it on. Just on certain parts that I want it to be on. And just curl that into a little curly Q. Pin it down. Sometimes if you pin the curls too close together, you won't be able to get to your roots. So just keep that in mind when you're dyeing your hair. Make sure to get all the different sides of your roots, because I mean, if you just try and do the front and the back, just the parts that normally show when you let your hair down, that's not going to work when you want to do something else with your hair. Since this part is already really blonde, I'm not going to put any hair color on it, or hair bleach. But I will pin it down to keep it out of the way. And, yeah, like I said, my hair isn't naturally black, so I do dye that from time to time. The black stays in a lot longer than, you know, blonde does, you know, with showing roots and all. But yeah. I've been dyeing my hair for a really long time, probably longer than I should. My mom introduced me to hair dye when I was younger. I was always into the alternative scene and stuff like that. So I've been dyeing my hair since I was about 11 or 12. And that's not so much with bleaching, but just with dyeing it. You know, I'll put black in, or I'll put blue black, or you know, reds or something like that. The first color I put in my hair was purple, and as you guys know, my name is Blue. I didn't dye my hair blue until I was, I think, 19 years old, because people would always make jokes about it, you know, so I didn't want to do it. But yeah, fun fact about this hair bleach, it will turn your hair a little purple if your hair is already really blonde. Yeah, and when I take a shower, I have to really, like, pull all these little pins out, and it is a hassle, but it's good. So I'm going to show you guys how to use the foil right now, since I haven't used it yet. I didn't think I would need to use it, but I think I will, just to show you guys how to do it if you're only, you know, doing it yourself. Like I said, it's so much easier if you're having someone else do your hair for you. I've never really had the luxury of that. I grew up not really poor, just never had that much money, so going to the salon was not big on my mom's list. I didn't really care. I was, you know, not really that into looks when I was a kid. But, so what you do is you grab your piece of foil, like so, and you want to have it maybe like as long as your palm. And you just slip the hair under there. If you're going to be bleaching a whole part, you kind of just slab some bleach onto that so your hair will stick. Sometimes I grab a clip and clip the foil to my head so I can, you know, have another free hand. And you kind of just slab it onto the foil and allow the bleach to kind of stick the hair to the foil. And if your hair is too long, as you can see mine is, you kind of just roll it up, create like a curliness, if you can see that, and kind of glue it to the foil with the hair dye. And when you're all done, it doesn't have to be on there 100%, just go ahead and carefully fold in one side by pulling the foil from top to bottom outwards, and just fold over this side. So it's like a little flat burrito of your hair, and just roll it upwards and do a pin curl and pin it in place. And you can do this to all your hair if you feel like, you know, the foil works for you in a way that it doesn't work for me. That's totally cool. I'm just going to do my roots over here real quick for you guys, because I'm probably boring you by just showing you how I do my hair. I'm glad that some of the things that I do to my hair are helpful for you people, because I often feel like I'm just on YouTube to see myself make a video, but if it actually, you know, is benefiting people, then thank you for watching. I've got a photo shoot at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and I have to travel an hour and a half to get out there. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I need to let this set for about 30 or 40 minutes, and then take a shower, and then maybe find some dinner. So I've got a long night ahead of me. But thank you guys for checking out how I bleach my hair. I know I look pretty silly right now, but so will you. So, yeah, thanks for checking it out, and if you have any questions on how to get your hair whiter, or if this, technique didn't work for you, just let me know, and I can fix it. Alright, thank you guys. Good night.